There's not a chance in hell that this is funny or gonna work. And when you see those flat, corny, late-night monologue jokes with no audience, Colbert, there's Jimmy Kimmel, there's Fallon. What they're doing is just like reading off of a teleprompter. So a bunch of really good joke writers wrote them some stuff, and then they're playing to the audience, and the audience is like laughing, so they get this feedback, and they know how to do that. They stand there, and there's applause signs, and then there's producers. There's the warm-up guy that's literally telling people to applaud. They're like, okay, explaining to the people, okay, when Jimmy comes out, I want a big round of applause. Let's practice this right now.
Jimmy Kimmel thought he was bulletproof, sitting pretty in his Hollywood throne, cracking safe jokes for studio audiences trained to laugh on command. He believed his late-night crown made him untouchable, that his corporate-approved humor gave him immunity from real criticism. Then Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson entered the chat, and suddenly, Kimmel found himself in the crosshairs of two media juggernauts who don't play by Hollywood's rules.
Jimmy Kimmel is a talented guy, and I don't think he's like an evil person or something, but he's made this deal where he just serves power and attacks anybody who challenges power. Like, how can... Honestly, how can he look in the mirror and say, I'm doing something honorable? Like, how can he live with himself? How can his wife sleep with him?
Comedians who, and this is why so much of comedy is not funny today. It's my chief criticism of like late night comedy, which I find unwatchable. I think it's totally unwatchable.
But also contemptible. I mean, they're collaborators.
They're just like the fact checkers, they're guardians of the narrative.
What happened next wasn't just a roast. It was a complete annihilation that exposed everything wrong with modern late-night television. For years, Kimmel has been Hollywood's perfect puppet, a once funny comedian who sold his comedic soul for network approval and advertising dollars. He transformed from someone who used to push boundaries into a sanitized mouthpiece who delivers pre-approved political talking points between pharmaceutical commercials. His show became a safe space for coastal elites to nod along without ever being challenged, a therapy session disguised as comedy where every punchline has been focus group tested and cleared by corporate lawyers. Kimmel didn't just lose his edge, he became the embodiment of everything authentic comedy stands against. He's the guy who pours hot oil on peasants from his Hollywood castle while pretending to be their champion.
Famously, there's some videos of him in blackface, and those came out, and he had to apologize for them, and I think he took that hit and like really doubled down the other direction. But he, now is a guy that goes after people like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Which is, Elon is thought of as being, because he's willing to put people on with uncomfortable opinions, and he's releasing people that were banned from Twitter because of things that they had said. He's like, as long as you haven't done anything illegal, I'll let you back on.
Then came Joe Rogan's surgical strike, delivered with the precision of a master craftsman who spent years perfecting his art. Rogan didn't need to mention Kimmel's name to eviscerate him completely. In one casual podcast segment, tucked between discussions about DMT and whether Bigfoot has a timeshare in Montana, Rogan casually destroyed the entire foundation of modern mainstream comedy.
He's had a real problem with Elon from the beginning of this thing, but it's like he's in this leftist thought bubble. He is in the most leftist thought bubble available, which is Hollywood.
His takedown wasn't angry or bitter, it was exhausted. Exhausted by the artificiality, the scripted grins, and the sanitized corporate comedy that passes for entertainment today. Rogan celebrates comedy that wanders, that risks, that punches up when necessary. It's messy, unscripted, and beautifully human. When he described washed-up TV hosts clinging to political zingers written by interns, everyone knew exactly who he meant. The blade was dipped in honey, but it cut straight to the bone. While Rogan delivered his knockout punch with characteristic calmness, Tucker Carlson came in like a digital sniper with surgical precision. Fresh off his explosive exit from Fox News, Tucker had nothing left to lose and everything to prove. His monologue didn't even mention Kimmel by name, but the target was crystal clear.
If his job wasn't to be a comedian and to do that, but his job is to be he's supposed to be funny, and comedians are supposed to hold people in positions of power accountable.
Suck-up.
Yeah.
To the people in charge.
Exactly.
He's their Praetorian Guard.
Yeah.
And it's like the self-hatred he must feel, because he wasn't always, that's my point. Yeah. I mean, Colbert has always been a hard partisan, talented guy, but obviously he's not a comedian. But Kimmel was a comedian. Like, how does he, I don't understand.
I don't know
how he can sleep.
He might buy into the narrative to the extent that he thinks it's morally wrong to joke about these certain topics.
But it's not just that. He's like pouring hot oil.
Tucker sliced through late-night sanctimony like a hot chainsaw through vegan tofu, pointing out how supposed rebels of comedy now spend more time peddling prescription drugs than pushing boundaries. He exposed the uncomfortable truth. These comedians have become living teleprompters, spitting out safe, pre-chewed content stamped with approval from studio executives and anxious PR representatives. Tucker's trademark grin said it all. This wasn't just criticism, it was a public execution performed with the calm confidence of someone who knows he's already won. The numbers tell the most devastating story of all. Joe Rogan's podcast claimed the #1 spot on Spotify's 2024 rankings, while his unique viewer numbers reached 21.9 million in October 2024, up 173% month over month. Meanwhile, Kimmel's ratings continue their steady decline into irrelevance. Rogan built a media empire from a garage with nothing but authentic conversations and a refusal to bow to corporate pressure. Tucker rose from the ashes of his Fox News firing to become a digital media powerhouse with more cultural influence than entire television networks. And Kimmel, he's still reading cue cards like it's 2018, delivering reheated monologues with all the enthusiasm of someone reading shampoo instructions to a crowd that's already mentally checked out. When Kimmel finally tried to fight back, his counterattacks landed with all the impact of a wet napkin thrown at a freight train. His attempts to mock Rogan's podcast guests and question Tucker's credibility only highlighted how out of touch he'd become with what audiences actually want. Kimmel's sharpest insults weren't even original. They sounded like hand-me-down jabs from a worn-out writer's room, desperately grasping for relevance. When he smugly took shots at Tucker for getting fired from Fox News, it backfired spectacularly, as Tucker's post-network success made Kimmel look like a corporate prisoner by comparison. His attempted roast of Rogan's interview style only emphasized how scripted and artificial his own show had become. Every swing Kimmel took revealed more about his own limitations than his target's weaknesses. What Rogan and Tucker represent isn't just different content, it's a complete revolution in how media operates. Rogan's 3-hour conversations dive deep into topics that actually matter, featuring real scientists, genuine thinkers, and unfiltered discussions about everything from consciousness research to whether feral hogs could overthrow Texas. Tucker's digital monologues strike like precision lightning, fast and focused, racking up millions of views while delivering uncompromising takes on media hypocrisy. They've cracked the code that Kimmel never understood. Audiences crave authenticity over approval, risk over safety, and real conversations over corporate karaoke. While Kimmel remains trapped in a format that even CNN has outgrown, these two have built entirely new media ecosystems that operate outside traditional gatekeepers and corporate babysitters. The final verdict isn't just that Jimmy Kimmel got roasted, it's that he got exposed as a relic of a dying era. This wasn't some coordinated attack between Rogan and Tucker. They operate in completely different spheres and probably disagree on half the issues that matter. But somehow, without planning or coordination, they both identified the same cultural cancer eating away at American comedy. Kimmel represents everything wrong with modern entertainment. Sanitized, scripted, and surgically removed from any authentic human experience. He's become a cautionary tale in a blazer, a once funny man reduced to a living bumper sticker for whatever cause scored best in the latest focus group. Meanwhile, Rogan and Tucker aren't just voices. They're architects of a new media landscape where authenticity trumps approval and real conversations matter more than corporate comfort. Kimmel thought he was untouchable, but he discovered too late that in the new media world, relevance can't be bought, scripted, or focus group tested. It has to be earned, one authentic moment at a time.